Hey, I was just in my Bible before work and I came upon this verse and it just made me think about how God's ways are just so much higher than our ways, His understanding, and we can't even comprehend the things He's doing sometimes in His plans. As humans, sometimes it looks like crazy or frustrating. And really, it's just part of His great plan, and it's far beyond awesomeness that we can even imagine ourselves as humans. But I was reading in Judges chapter 14 about Samson. He's growing up now. If you don't know about Samson, Samson's mother was barren, which is a lot of women in the Bible. They can't have babies. And an angel of the Lord tells her that she is going to have a baby. And which is, another miraculous thing God does is create life from a barren place where potentially nothing could happen, in the womb. And there springs forth a beautiful life, and it's just one of God's many miracles. So this angel of the Lord tells Samson's mother, you're going to have a baby and raise him up, he's going to be raised up with Nazirite vows. So they cannot drink, they don't cut their hair. It's like all these important little rules that sets them apart, as their own distinct group. So they've taken a Nazirite vow. So the angel tells her, you're going to raise him up in this Nazirite vow. He's never going to cut his hair, all this stuff. And so she's like, oh my gosh. Okay, so she goes to run to tell his father, Manoah, which is Samson's father, and he comes running back to meet the angel. Well, he prays, he sees the angel again, and the angel appears again, and there's a bunch of miraculous things that happen, but it's just crazy, they bring a burnt offering to the angel, around the angel to the Lord, and this flame ignites on the altar, and it just goes up to heaven, and the angel goes to heaven with the flame of the fire. So it's imagining that happening in front of your human eyes. Okay, no one could imagine that happening, but it's that's real life what happened. So I say that because I was coming upon this part where Samson's growing up, he's probably a little past teenage years or whatever, young adult, I don't really know, but it says that one day Samson, a Philistine woman, caught his eye, and the Philistines were the people that were oppressing Israel, because again, Israel disobeyed God, so God let them be taken captive, and let the Philistines rule over them. Philistine, whatever. But so these Philistines were bad in the eyes of the Israelites. They were their oppressors, and God often said not to mingle with, don't marry women from, the other groups of people around them that were worshiping false gods. So Philistine, Moabites, all these people, God was like, stay away from them, don't have children with them and whatever, because I've set you aside for special purposes. So anyway, Samson, a a Philistine woman catches his eye, and he's like, oh my gosh, that's my woman. And he goes back and he tells his dad, he's like, Dad, go get me this woman. I like her. Like, she looks great. And his mother and father objected. Of course, they're like, no way, no, you're not dating our oppressor, you know. And I just came upon this verse in chapter 14. It says, but Samson told his father, get her for me, she looks good to me. His father and mother didn't realize the Lord was at work in this, creating an opportunity to work against the Philistines who ruled over Israel at the time. So, like, traditionally, dating a Philistine is a no-no, but what they didn't realize is God can just go against the traditions of man, and like he was using this to be an opportunity where God knew ahead of time what was going to happen. So he actually put that woman that Samson like saw and wanted that woman, and you know, God planned that whole thing, but his parents are like, oh no, this is horrible, this is not, you know. And it makes me think of how we do that as humans. We're just like, we have this all in our mind, especially as Christians, like, oh, God wouldn't approve of that. Like, no, it's absolutely not. And if you've ever raised a teenager, you'd probably know all about this, because I do. You know, my daughter constantly surprises me with, like, just how her choices that are interesting to me turn out to be part of God's plan. And he knew it the whole time that was going to happen. And, you know, he's making it work for the good. And, you know, he even takes things that we think are bad and works them for good, as, you know, as long as we're believing in faith. And, you know, he is gonna turn everything for his plan and purpose. And we don't have the power to create the plan and the purpose. That's all in God's hands. So it just reminds me today, when you see things that you're just like, that can't be part of the plan. Like, it is part of the plan. And, you know, God's a lot more powerful than you. So just trust in him, have faith, stay in communication with him. And, you know, he's gonna get you through whatever you're seeing. His ways are much higher. And so just remember that as you go about your day. Okay, have a great day.